We've walked 13 Caminos together, and in all that time, we've learned one very important thing: less is more.
So we want to share with you 5 things we no longer pack for the Camino de Santiago, and why you can probably safely leave these things at home so you can save your joints, save your body, and have a great Camino without overpacking.
This video is brought to you by Epicka Travel Adapters, but more on that in a bit. Right now, I'm Sean.
And I'm Lainey. And this is Days We Spend.
The first thing that we don't pack anymore is heavy hiking boots or Gore-Tex shoes.
Like most first-time pilgrims, our first Camino, we both wore really heavy-duty Gore-Tex waterproof hiking boots. I used a pair that I already owned. I wore them on Mount Kilimanjaro, and I loved those boots. I thought they were gonna be great for the Camino.
I bought a pair from a flea market in Italy for 20 euros, and I did not think that they were gonna be great, but I had the impression that a long distance hike meant hiking boots. So even though I didn't have a lot of money, I went out and bought a pair of heavy duty hiking boots, and it turned out to be not the best idea.
Both of us made mistakes in different years when we watched this.
When I walked my first Camino before Lainey and I even met, I wore those boots and I ended up having some really bad knee pain and troubles going over the Pyrenees and walking through some of the cities. So even though they were like big, beefy, cushioned boots, I still had a terrible first and even second Camino.
We don't recommend heavy duty boots because they're not designed for the type of trails and paths you're walking on the Camino. Big boots with ankle protection are made for really rocky trails. They're made for mountaineering. They're made for carrying like a 50-pound bag. And that's not what the Camino is. You're walking on paved roads a lot of times. You're walking on country lanes. You're walking on dirt or gravel paths. So when you're using a really heavy boot, you're expending more energy than you need to, because every step you take, you physically need to like lift your foot with more weight on it. A lighter shoe is going to be more comfortable and more sufficient for that type of terrain.
That's why we both switched to wearing trail runners, specifically Ultras. They are a zero drop trail runner shoe.
The difference between trail runners and hiking boots is that they have a flexible sole. So they're built for different types of terrain that you're more often going to see on the Camino. And they're really lightweight. So you're using less effort and energy to take every step, especially over multiple days.
We're never going to go back to hiking boots. And while they might have their place on some trails, they're just the wrong shoe, in my opinion, for the Camino.
Now let's talk about waterproofing. We think it's a big flaw to default to a Gore-Tex or waterproof shoe on the Camino. Unless you're walking in winter, that's a different story. So my problem was I wore these big boots on the first day of the Camino Frances, my first time, and they were waterproof Gore-Tex boots.
They're really nice boots, honestly.
Great boots, but not for the Camino. What happened is it poured rain on us. Unless you're wearing waterproof pants, waterproof shoes do nothing because your feet will get wet because the water runs down your leg, it gets in your socks, and your shoes get wet. Now, the problem with Gore-Tex is it's designed to keep the water out, which means water also can't escape when your shoes get wet. So my boots were wet for probably a week, and that caused so many blisters, so much problems. And I wouldn't have had to deal with that if I had a lighter trail runner shoe, which are designed to get wet and then dry quickly.
It's not amazing to hike in wet shoes, but long-term foot health for the Camino is much more important than like short-term comfort. Everything has to be waterproof for it to function as a whole unit. It's almost like wearing like a hazmat suit. There's no point in wearing a hazmat suit if you've got the face visor. So we don't pack it anymore. We keep it light. We keep it breezy, and it's made our Caminos a lot more comfortable.
The next thing we don't recommend is a headlamp. While we both enjoy waking up early and seeing the sunrise on the Camino, we don't recommend regularly walking in the dark.
It's not that safe. It's easy to get a little bit lost. You might miss a turn. You might miss an arrow. Not every day is equally well marked. Sorry, I personally am going to die on this hill. I really don't like that waking up at 5 in the morning has become a really popular trend on the Camino for the reasons I just said, but also it's pretty brutal for everyone else in the albergue who doesn't want to wake up at 5 in the morning to listen to 20 people packing their bags. Walking in the dark is a strange way to experience the Camino. And there's a big difference between walking in the dark for 20 minutes before the sun comes up and walking for hours. Spain has a very strange time zone, so some parts of the year the sun doesn't come up till 8:30. Waking up hours before the sunrise is a little bit inconsiderate in my opinion, but it's also unsafe. And you're getting to the next albergue at like 11 in the morning to stand in line and wait. I know everyone's Camino is their own thing, but I really don't like that this has become a trend. And not doing it means that you can not only be a better pilgrim, in my opinion, but you don't have to pack a headlamp because you're not preparing to walk at 5 in the morning. I mean, you look cool though.
We know this is a little controversial because some people swear by their headlamps. And we know a lot of people like the red light function in the morning when they're like packing their bags. There's a better way. Take all your stuff and pack as much the night before. And then the next morning when you're leaving, even if it's early, you just grab everything and pack in the common room. And then you can take your phone flashlight and do like a quick dummy check under your bed with the flashlight to just make sure you got everything. But you're not crumpling papers. Yeah, it's not just the noise, but the light is waking up.
There's no perfect solution. Everyone wants to leave when they want to leave. We leave sometimes before the sunrise. It's not saying you can't do it. You don't want to leave something important behind. But I don't think the headlamp is the solution. Your phone has a flashlight.
If you are hiking in the dark, which for us only means a heat wave, or we're going like a really long day, like a double distance day, I take my phone and I actually stick it in my waist pack and the light shines outwards, but it's at a level it doesn't blind people because I'm not looking straight in their face with the light.
We really don't think they're necessary for most pilgrims on most Caminos for most days. But even if you are someone that you wake up early once or twice, it's just not worth bringing a headlamp for that, especially if you're doing a longer Camino. But one thing that we do always pack is a way to keep our phones, cameras, and other devices charged. That's why we recommend the Pulse 45-watt universal adapter and the TA105C travel adapter from Epicka.
Trusted by thousands of travelers, Epicka is the #1 travel adapter on Amazon for a good reason.
Both the TA105C and the Pulse 45-watt feature multiple USB-A and USB-C ports,
safe, sustained charging without overheating, and 4 different built-in plugs to adapt to outlets in over 200 countries. The Pulse 45 is great for fast charging when you need it. You can top your iPhone up to 60% in just 30 minutes, which is perfect for when you're having that coffee break on the Camino.
And the TA105C has the added benefit of this really fun side USB-C port. It was really great for crowded albergues and kind of funky outlet spacing, which you find all the time when you're walking the Camino.
Click the link in the description below so you can stay charged on your next Camino. The third thing we no longer pack is large toiletries and makeup.
This is our current toiletry kits. This is everything I bring to stay fresh and clean on the Camino. So travel toothbrush, travel toothpaste, piece of soap in a bag, and a rubber band. I understand that this is insane, and I know that people don't need to bring this little, but it exemplifies a lot of what we're trying to get to, which is less is more. And if you bring something, you need to bring a small travel size version.
I have a little bit more than Sean, but I still have a really small kit. And that's because of a phrase that we always say, which is decant, decant, decant. You never want to bring a full size item of anything. You want to bring shampoo, put it in a smaller bottle. I put my deodorant in this small tin. I use a solid face moisturizer, and that's in this tiny little container. I use the same soap for everything, my body, my clothes, my hair. It's not a full bar of soap, it's a partial bar of soap. I don't bring large hairbrushes. I'll bring one of these small ones. Even toothpaste, I bring little toothpaste tablets. You can bring the small toothpaste like Sean does. You don't need a whole big size tube because all this liquid weight is heavy.
You're not going into the middle of the woods. You're going to be walking through several towns, no matter which Camino you're on. If you bring a small travel size toothpaste, for example, if you start running out of toothpaste, you can get another one.
Same thing with sunscreen, decant it into a smaller bottle. I don't bring any makeup on the Camino. Part of that is I just don't really wear that much in my daily life anyways. I opt for a tinted sunscreen instead. And these are both zinc tinted sunscreens. I have one from All Good, which is a USA brand. And then I have another one, which we just recently discovered called Fukaeri. And this is a Galician brand. So if you are a European or Spaniard, you can look for Fukaeri. And they're both beautiful tinted sunscreens, protect your skin from the sun damage, give you that little healthy glow, and you can just embrace your natural looks on the Camino instead of taking time to put on makeup in the morning. You can just roll out of bed and walk.
The fourth thing that we don't pack is a sleeping pad. I don't know why sleeping pads are a thing that you would want to pack on the Camino, since you're going to be staying in an albergue and sleeping on a bed. You don't need it. And while it might be nice for taking a break or having a picnic, it is definitely not an essential item for the Camino.
If you're camping, I mean, that's a whole different situation. But again, you're not legally allowed to camp in Spain.
The Le Puy, go nuts. France loves camping.
Yeah.
But on the Spanish Caminos, a sleeping pad is overkill.
I like to sometimes bring this little sit pad for picnics if we're on a route that I know we're going to be packing lunches all the time. It weighs pretty much nothing and it fits in the side pocket of my backpack. I think I've only brought it twice. And while I liked having on both of them, I also didn't miss it on the Caminos. I didn't bring it.
The fifth and final thing that we don't pack for the Camino anymore, at least most of the time, is a sleeping bag. I know that many of you are going to want a sleeping bag, and I completely understand. Being comfortable and warm when you get good quality sleep on the Camino is essential. However, if you're trying to get a little bit more ultralight or minimalist, I would recommend swapping out the sleeping bag with a sleep sack.
There's silk. You can also get synthetic or merino wool. Pros and cons, this one is much more comfortable to sleep in because it stretches.
It's warmer too.
It's a little warmer. So you kind of want to pick what you're bringing based on the season and the weather.
They're just ultralight. They pack down to about the size of a t-shirt. They weigh 110 grams, which is about 3.5 ounces.
But we also use the albergue blankets often. Or again, if you're going in the shoulder season, we do recommend maybe bringing an additional quilt or packing your sleeping bag. This recommendation is really just for summer, or if you are okay with a little bit of suffering sometimes.
There's a reason that we put this number 5 on the list. It's because sleeping bags, in my opinion, are the bulkiest and one of the heavier items that you can bring. They're also really useful. I'm not trying to tell you to have an uncomfortable Camino.
Yeah.
The point of this video is to just get you to think critically. Everything needs to be thoughtfully chosen for your Camino and your needs. If there's something that makes your day much, much better, like a book, pack a book. Don't let someone on YouTube tell you not to bring the things that make you happy. If you don't want to bring something or you're not going to get use out of it every day, it's probably not worth packing.
And that's our ethos. It's something you need to use every day, or it's an emergency item like for first aid. Packing for the Camino can be scary, especially if it's your first time, but just remember, less is more, because a heavy bag is just going to be more effort and more wear and tear on your body every day.
Overpacking for every situation is actually going to put you at higher risk of injury. We made these mistakes so that you don't have to. We've hiked in hiking boots and had miserable time. We've brought too much stuff and ditched things along the way.
We packed cheap chargers once and they burned out the cables for our phones, so we had to buy new cables and new chargers mid-walk.
Bring what you need to stay safe, but remember that you only need to take it one day at a time, and you should pack accordingly by bringing as little as possible that works for you to keep you safe out there, keep you light, and keep you moving on the Camino with a big smile on your face.
So if you have something that you don't like to pack or that you absolutely pack, please let us know in the comments.
Subscribe for more hot takes like this where we tell you all the things you're doing wrong. And join our membership. We have a new membership program, Days We Friend. If you want to be a more involved supporter of the channel, we do monthly live streams for members. So go ahead and click the join button and become part of the Days We Friend friendship group. We don't have a name for it yet.
You can also follow us on Instagram for some daily updates, especially while we're on the Camino.
So thanks for watching. Make sure that you think about what you pack, and we'll see you out there. Buen Camino, pilgrims.